Hello medicos. In this video, I will try to explain you about anatomy and physiology of the paranasal sinuses. First of all, I will discuss what is paranasal sinuses, and then after I will discuss about the types of paranasal sinuses, function of paranasal sinuses, and the X-ray and CT scan finding, and also development of the all paranasal sinuses. So first of all, start about the basic about the paranasal sinuses. So it is a air filled space present within the certain bone of the skulls around the nasal cavity. So please second, what is it is a again it is a air filled space present within the certain bone of skull. Air filled space present in the certain bone of the skull around the nasal cavity. This is the nasal cavity, so around the nasal cavity these sinuses are present. There are four pair of paranasal sinuses present. First, it has two classification. First is anterior view, when you will see anteriorly, and some paranasal sinuses present posteriorly. So anterior paranasal sinuses included maxillary sinuses, frontal sinuses, anterior ethmoidal, and also sometimes middle ethmoidal called. So anterior ethmoidal, middle ethmoidal, frontal sinuses, and maxillary sinuses. Here you will see all four types of paranasal sinuses. First, this is the frontal sinuses. Second, this is the ethmoidal sinuses. This is the maxillary sinuses. These sinuses are the largest sinus in our body, largest paranasal sinuses. This is the maxillary sinuses. But when you will see on the lateral view, this is the lateral view, this is the anterior view of the skull. So when you will see the lateral view, then you will see the posterior ethmoidal and sphenoidal. Posterior ethmoidal and sphenoidal are not seen in the anterior view. So this is the posterior ethmoidal part of the ethmoidal sinuses and the sphenoidal sinuses. This is the sphenoidal sinuses. So this is visible in the lateral view of the skull. So two types, anterior and posterior. First, now I will explain about the one by one. First is the maxillary sinuses. It's also called antrum of Highmore and also maxillary antrum. So this is all are same name, maxillary sinuses, antrum of Highmore, and maxillary antrum. First, I already said this is the largest sinuses. This is the largest paranasal sinuses in our body. This is the frontal, but this is the largest paranasal sinuses. This is ethmoidal, this is sphenoidal. In this all, only maxillary are the largest paranasal sinuses. Symmetrical and pyramidal in shape. So it is the largest paranasal sinuses. Also you will see when I will discuss about the sinusitis, then you will always see mostly infection occur in the maxillary sinuses due to the largest sizes. Also it's called largest, symmetrical, and pyramidal in shape. This is pyramidal shape and symmetrical. Both side has same size approximately. All both have same size. So these are symmetrical and pyramidal in shape. It is located in the body of maxilla. This is bone is called maxilla bone. Here also this is the bone of maxilla, and so paranasal sinus is located in the body of maxilla under the eyes. This is the eye, so under the eyes these are located. So paranasal sinus is located in the body of maxilla under the eye. Drainage of paranasal sinus occur into the middle nasal meatus. Here you will see the nasal meatus, inferior nasal meatus, middle, and the superior nasal meatus. So maxillary paranasal sinuses drain into the middle nasal meatus. Please learn, this is very important, which sinuses drain in which part. So I will discuss all sinuses different part. So drainage of maxillary sinuses in the middle nasal meatus. Boundaries of maxillary sinuses. There are different boundaries. First, anterior boundary. Anterior boundary formed by the facial surface of the maxilla. Here you will see facial surface. So anterior boundary formed by the facial surface of the maxilla. Posterior boundary. Posterior boundary formed by the infratemporal and pterygoid fossa. Here you will see this is the maxillary paranasal sinuses. This is the largest sinuses. So anterior body formed by the facial surface of the maxilla, and posterior, this is the posterior boundary posterior to the maxillary sinuses. So this is formed by the pterygopalatine fossa, also in infratemporal fossa. Infratemporal fossa and the pterygopalatine fossa form the posterior boundary of the maxillary sinuses. Third is the medial boundary. Medial boundary formed by the middle and inferior nasal meatus. So this is the medially present. So inferior nasal meatus and the middle nasal meatus of the nose form the medial boundary of the maxillary sinuses. Roof of the maxillary sinuses formed by the floor of orbit. This is the orbit, means eyes of body, eyes in our body. So roof is formed by the floor of the orbit, and the floor of the paranasal sinuses formed by the alveolar and palatine process of the maxilla. So this is the floor formed by the alveolar and palatine process of the maxilla. So alveolar and palatine process of maxilla form the floor of the boundaries of the maxillary sinus. So this is the boundaries about the maxillary sinus. Which blood supply to the maxillary sinuses? So facial artery, infratemporal, infraorbital artery, and palatine artery. These all are the, these all are the branch of external carotid artery. So it is a branch of external carotid artery which supply to the facial artery, which is the branch. External carotid artery give the branch facial artery, infraorbital artery, and palatine artery which supply to the maxillary sinuses. Venous drainage occur by the facial vein and pterygoid plexus. Facial vein and pterygoid plexus drain the deoxygenated blood from the maxillary paranasal sinuses. What nerve supply to the maxillary sinuses? So anterior superior and middle superior and posterior superior. These all nerve supply to the maxillary sinuses. So this is anterior superior alveolar nerve, anterior superior alveolar nerve, and middle superior and posterior superior. So anterior alveolar, I will write alveolar nerve, alveolar nerve. So three type alveolar nerve: anterior superior, middle superior, and posterior superior. Anterior superior alveolar nerve and middle superior alveolar nerve both are the branch of the, you all know, both are the branch of the infraorbital nerve. Infraorbital nerve. But posterior superior is the branch of the maxillary nerve. So this is the branch of maxillary nerve. So three type of nerves. First is the anterior superior alveolar nerve. Second is the middle superior alveolar nerve. These two branches of the infraorbital nerve. But posterior superior alveolar nerve is the branch of the maxillary nerve. So these nerves supply to the maxillary sinuses. So this is about the maxillary sinuses. Second sinus is the frontal sinus. Frontal sinus, it is present in the frontal bone above and deep into the supraorbital margin. This is the frontal sinuses present in the frontal bone. This part is the part of frontal bone. Here you will see this is the frontal bone and deep to the supraorbital margin. This is the margin called supraorbital margin. So above the supraorbital margin, deep part of the supraorbital margin. These are mostly asymmetrical. When I will show you in the last of the video X-ray of the paranasal sinuses, then you will see they are different size, asymmetrical mostly. So frontal sinuses are asymmetrical in nature, mostly asymmetrical in nature, and present in the frontal bone above and deep to the supraorbital margin. Boundaries of the frontal sinuses. Boundaries of the frontal sinuses: anterior boundary formed by the skin over the forehead. This is the forehead, and skin over the forehead form the anterior boundary of the frontal sinuses. Posterior boundary of frontal sinuses formed by the meninges and frontal lobe of the brain. Meninges and frontal lobe of the brain form the posterior boundary of the frontal sinuses. And inferior boundary formed by the orbit and its content. This is the part of orbit. So orbit and its content form the inferior boundary of the frontal sinus. So this is the boundaries of the frontal sinuses. They are also present in the pair and above the orbit. Blood supply of the frontal sinuses. Blood supply occur by the supraorbital artery. Supraorbital artery supply to the blood to the frontal sinuses. And venous drainage occur by the anastomosis between the supraorbital and supraophthalmic vein. So when anastomosis occur in the supraorbital and supraophthalmic vein, these drain the frontal sinuses. So this is the venous drainage of the frontal sinuses. Nerve supply of the frontal sinuses to the frontal sinuses supply by the ophthalmic nerve, and this is the nerve supplied by the frontal sinuses. Ophthalmic nerve supplied to the frontal sinuses. Drainage of the frontal sinuses. Frontal sinuses drain occur in the middle nasal meatus, same as the maxillary sinuses. I already said about the maxillary sinuses drain into the drain into the middle nasal meatus, and frontal sinus also drain into the middle nasal meatus. So please also learn frontal sinus also drain into the middle nasal meatus. So this is about the frontal sinuses. Third sinus is the sphenoidal sinuses. Sphenoidal sinus you will see only in the lateral view, means it is present in the posterior portion of the skull, posterior portion, not visible in the anteriorly, it visible into the posteriorly. So it is present posteriorly. It is located within the body of the sphenoid bone. This is the part of sphenoid bone where located of the location of the sphenoidal sinuses. So sphenoidal sinuses visible in the lateral view, not in the anterior view. First question. Second question, it is present in the body of the sphenoid and present posterior part, not anterior part. So it is present posteriorly. It is a paired and asymmetrical structure. Sphenoidal sinuses also present in the paired and also asymmetrical structure as like a frontal sinuses. So it is a paired and asymmetrical type of the sinuses. These are the sphenoidal sinus. Here you will also see the sphenoidal sinus which is present in the sphenoid bone. This is the sphenoid bone where the sphenoidal sinus is present. Body of the sphenoid bone. Boundaries of the sphenoidal sinuses. Boundary of sphenoidal sinuses. Lateral boundary formed by the cavernous sinus and internal carotid artery. Cavernous sinus and internal carotid artery form the lateral boundary of the sphenoidal sinuses. Superior boundary formed by the ophthalmic chiasma and the hypophysis cerebrospinalis. These form the superior boundary of the sphenoidal sinuses, and the floor is formed by the viridian nerves. These form the boundaries of the sphenoidal sinuses. If you want, you also learn that, but it's not more important. Boundaries of the sphenoidal sinuses. Blood supply of the sphenoidal sinuses. Blood supply occur by the posterior ethmoidal and internal carotid artery. These two arteries supply to the sphenoidal sinuses, posterior ethmoidal artery and the internal carotid artery. Second, venous drainage. Venous drainage of the sphenoidal sinuses by the pterygoid venous plexus and the cavernous sinus. Pterygoid venous plexus and cavernous sinuses drain the sphenoidal sinus. So pterygoid venous plexus and the venous sinus drainage of the sphenoidal sinuses. Nerve supply of the sphenoidal sinuses. Two nerves which supply the sphenoidal sinuses: posterior ethmoidal nerve and orbital branch of the pterygopalatine ganglion. So two nerves which supply to the sphenoidal sinuses: posterior ethmoidal nerve and the orbital branch of the pterygopalatine ganglion which supply to the sphenoidal sinuses. And drainage of the sphenoidal sinuses occur in the sphenoido-ethmoidal races and also superior meatus and the sphenoethmoidal races. This is the drainage of the sphenoidal sinus. Please learn, this is very important. Drainage of the sphenoidal sinuses, and it is a paired and asymmetrical structure. It is also important, and it is visible in the posterior portion, present in the posterior portion, and visible when you will see the visible, then you will see the on the lateral view. When you will see the lateral view, then you will see the sphenoidal sinuses. So this is about the sphenoidal sinuses. Here you will see this is the sphenoidal sinuses, and there are different part present behind the and in the front and superior and inferior to the sphenoidal sinuses. Last sinus, fourth sinus, is the ethmoidal sinus. Ethmoidal sinus, it is a three position: anterior, middle and posterior. First of all, it is a several discrete air cell within the ethmoidal bone. Here you will see discrete air cell, very different air cells, several discrete air cell within the ethmoid bone between the nose and the eyes. This is the eyes part, this is the nose part, and present between the nose and the eye and nose. So this is the ethmoidal sinus. There are three types: anterior ethmoidal sinus, middle and the posterior ethmoidal sinuses. First is the anterior. It is a 1 to 11 air cells present. Here you will see in anterior ethmoidal sinuses where 1 to 11 air cell, approx 1 to 11 air cells present. In this photo, in this picture, you will also see the three types of sinuses, ethmoidal sinus. First is the anterior, second is the middle ethmoidal sinuses, and third is the posterior ethmoidal sinuses. So three: anterior, middle and posterior, all are present in the pair. Anterior, middle and posterior ethmoidal sinuses present. It is contain 1 to 11 air cells, and neurovascular supply occurred by the anterior part by the anterior ethmoidal nerve and the vessels. Anterior ethmoidal nerve and anterior ethmoidal artery which supply to the anterior part of the ethmoidal sinuses. Drainage of the ethmoidal sinuses anterior part occur into the middle nasal meatus, same as the maxillary sinuses and the frontal sinuses. So maxillary sinuses, frontal sinuses and anterior ethmoidal sinuses open into the middle nasal meatus, and also middle I will discuss when middle, then middle also open into the middle nasal meatus. So second is the middle nasal meatus. Middle means middle ethmoidal sinuses. Middle ethmoidal sinuses, it is 1 to 7 air cells present. 1 to 7 air cells present in the middle ethmoidal sinuses. Neurovascular supply of the middle ethmoidal sinuses by the anterior ethmoidal nerve and the vessels and orbital branch of the pterygopalatine ganglion, same as the I already discussed in the sphenoidal. So anterior ethmoidal nerve and the pterygopalatine ganglion, orbital branch of pterygopalatine ganglion, which supply to the middle part of the ethmoidal sinuses and drain into the middle nasal meatus. So four branch four, first is the maxillary, second is the frontal, third is the anterior branch of the ethmoidal sinuses and middle branch of the ethmoidal sinuses, all drain into the middle nasal meatus. But posterior ethmoidal sinuses and the sphenoidal sinuses drain into the superior nasal meatus. Please learn, this is very important, drainage of the ethmoidal sinuses. So posterior ethmoidal sinuses, it is also 1 to 7 air cells present, and neurovascular supply occur by the posterior ethmoidal nerve and vessels and the orbital branch of pterygopalatine ganglion. But in this anterior ethmoidal nerve, but in the posterior part, posterior ethmoidal nerve and vessels supply and pterygopalatine ganglion supply to the posterior part of the ethmoidal sinuses and drain into the superior nasal meatus, same as the sphenoid sinuses. So drain into the superior nasal meatus. This is very important, drainage of the sinuses. Function of the sinuses. What is the function of all type of the sinuses in our body? Function of sinuses, here you will see frontal sinuses. So it is frontal. This is ethmoidal sinuses. This is the maxillary sinuses, and here you will see the posterior part. Then you will see the sphenoidal sinuses and the posterior ethmoidal sinuses. So four type of sinuses, four pairs. The function of all sinuses are the prevent from trauma. It help in the prevent from the trauma of to the different part of the skulls. So help in the prevent from trauma. Second is the humidifying and the heating of inhaled air. When inhaled air occur, then it help in the humidification and heating of the inhaled air. So this is the second function of the paranasal sinuses. It also increase the resonance of voice. It help in the increasing of the resonance of voice, because like cavity like appearance occur in all sinuses, so it is help in the increasing resonance of the voice. Fourth function is the it also help in the immunological function. Some scientists said it also help in the immunological function. So it is a immunological defense function also of the paranasal sinuses. And it also help in the decreased relative weight of the front of the bone due to the sinuses present. So it help in the decreasement of the weight of the skull. So it also help in the decreased relative weight of the front of the skulls. This is the front of the skull, so help in the decrease in the weight due to the cavity like appearance. So this is also function of the paranasal sinuses, and it also function as a provide extended surface for olfaction. This is the help in olfaction, so it provide the extended surface for olfaction. So this is about the function of the paranasal sinuses. So this chart is very important for us, because it has many questions asked from this chart. So first of all, sinuses. I already said about four type of sinuses: maxillary, ethmoidal, sphenoidal and frontal paranasal sinuses. So first is the which sinuses present at birth. So please learn that all sinuses present at birth, at the birth of the child. Then you will see all type of the paranasal sinuses: maxillary, ethmoidal, sphenoidal and frontal. But you will not see the CT scan. You will not see in the CT scan when you will see the frontal sinuses. Frontal sinuses are not visible in the CT scan and also an X-ray. So only maxillary sinuses, ethmoidal and sphenoidal sinuses at the time of the birth visible in the CT scan, but frontal sinuses are not visible in the CT scan. But all paranasal sinuses present at the time of the birth. Second is the first X-ray appearance. When you will see in the first X-ray, so maxillary sinus are visible after 4 to 5 months of the birth. So 4 to 5 months after birth, maxillary sinuses are visible in the X-ray. In CT scan, all sinuses are visible except frontal sinus at the time of the birth. But in the X-ray, it maxillary sinuses visible after 4 to 5 months. Ethmoidal sinuses appear approx 1 year, at the time of 1 year or after 1 year. Sphenoidal sinuses are appear after 6 to 7 years, and the frontal sinuses occur after 4 to 5 years. So first ray appearance occur. This is the first ray appearance of the different type of the paranasal sinuses. When they will reach the adult size, so maxillary sinus first of all reach the adult size approx 15 to 18 years. Second, ethmoidal sinuses appear approx 12 year, sphenoidal sinuses approx 15 year, and the frontal sinuses adult size is reached to the adult size approx 18 year. So this is about the reachment of the adult size of the different sinuses. So please learn, this is very important. When you will see in the X-ray, when present at the time of birth or not, and which are visible or not visible in the CT scan of the sinuses when you will take sinuses. So this is about the chart of, please learn this chart, very important, about the paranasal sinuses. Now what you will see in the X-ray? Here you will see the X-ray of the paranasal sinuses. Then you will see this is the frontal sinuses. I already said this is also asymmetrical structure. I also said I will show you in the X-ray. So here you will see this is the frontal sinuses. Here you will see it visible larger than this sinuses, frontal sinuses. So I already said frontal sinuses are asymmetrical in nature. This is the frontal sinuses. This is the X-ray of the sinuses. First, this is the frontal sinuses. This is the ethmoidal sinus. This is the maxillary sinus. This is the part of the orbit. So please learn, this is the frontal sinus, this is the maxillary sinus, this is the ethmoidal sinus. Sphenoidal sinus are mostly not visible in the front anterior part, it is visible in the lateral part. But when you will see when you will see sphenoidal sinuses, when you will say to the patient to the open mouth, so sphenoidal sinuses are visible in the open mouth X-ray. But when you will see the X-ray of the closed mouth of the patient, then you will not see the sphenoidal sinuses. So please learn, sphenoidal sinuses only visible in the open mouth X-ray, in the open mouth X-ray. But maxillary sinuses, ethmoidal sinuses and frontal sinuses also visible in the closed mouth. So please learn, this is the difference. Ethmoidal sinuses only visible in the open mouth, sphenoid sinuses only in the open mouth visible. Open mouth when open mouth, but frontal maxillary and the ethmoidal sinuses also visible in the closed mouth. So this is the difference, frontal sphenoidal sinuses and the frontal maxillary and the ethmoidal sinuses. So this is all about the paranasal sinuses. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in the comment section. Thank you so much, doctor.